let us start the objective part regarding ethics. Now see here, the questions will be not pertaining with the respective topic. The questions will be a mix of all the topics. Likewise, what we discussed, whistleblowing in engineering ethics, some part, and the remaining part in organizational ethics, right? So that's why your questions will be interrelated, and so that's why we have prepared the mixed bag of questions. Now before coming to the questions, go through the video perfectly and see here in ethics topic, answering the questions is very toughest part. You have to draw the secondary points perfectly with respect to the definitions, right? Unless until you cannot answer the questions. So that's why we have prepared more than 400 questions for you, right? Now focus on the questions, and this is also an explanation, right? Now first one, consider the following statements regarding definition of moral, it seems. Now what is the first statement? You are asked to find out which statements are correct. Being or acting in accordance with standards and precepts of goodness. Yes, this is the point that we consider in moral. Perfectly right. Arising from conscience or a sense of right and wrong. Yes, moral comes from this point. Perfectly correct. A concisely expressed precept. A concisely expressed precept or a general truth, a maxim, it seems. No. See here, a moral cannot be a general truth or a maxim, right? How can it be a moral, right? Now, for example, I will write down this. Sun rises in the east. Now, this is a general truth. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Now, is this statement moral? Now, how can you judge this statement as moral or immoral? Right? It happens in the nature. So, for moral concept, you cannot take these general truths. So, your third statement is perfectly wrong. Now, see how the degree of depthness in the questions. Next one. The principles of conduct governing an individual or a profession, standards of behavior. Yes, perfectly right. Your fourth statement is exactly right. Now your 1, 2 and 4 statements are right regarding moral. So your B option satisfies this. Which are the levels of study of ethics, it seems. Now you will study ethics at the level of individual, personal ethics. You will study at the level of engineering. We have studied a concept called engineering ethics. At the level of government, yes. At the level of society, yes, we will study. Now this is what we discussed about good governance, smart governance, right? Governance. This is the concept, right? So your option is nothing but all the above, right? Focus on the things. Let us move on to the next one. Which of the following does not constitute the foundation of ethics, it seems. Now, foundation of ethics, honesty. Yes, this is the foundation of ethics. This is what we have studied. Justice. Yes, this is what we study. Right or wrong, true or false. Integrity. Yes, this is what accountability, integrity. We have studied this. Now, what is this courtesy? This doesn't constitute the foundation of ethics. Now, courtesy is nothing but an aspect of behavior, right? It is not foundation of ethics. It is an aspect of behavior. Now, you may be courteous to a villain. You may be courteous to a hero. That doesn't mean any foundation of ethics, right? And aspects of behavior, sometimes you call it as personality. Done. So, which doesn't constitute? Your courtesy doesn't constitute. So, your option is D. Focus on the questions, right? Next one. What refers to the situation in which moral reasons come into conflict or in which application of moral values is problematic? Now this is what we have studied in organization ethics, right? What is the exact definition of this? Got the point? Moral dilemmas. The frequent moral dilemmas that what you observe, that it comes under into conflict of interest, right? How to behave. Now when a person came to an interview and he is a relative, then whether to help him or go in a right manner. This is a moral dilemma, right? This is what we are expressing there. Now you learnt about preventive ethics and ethical issues also clearly. Now what is this silo mentality? Now, this is not related to the question, but what is this term called? Silo mentality. Silo mentality is nothing but related to concealing or inhibiting information flow in a department or between a department of an organization. Now why this happens? Due to competition given in an incentive based systems of remuneration. Now this is called silo mentality, right? Now see here, I will write down the definition. Now silo mentality is related to concealing one more new point that we learn, inhibiting information flow in or between departments. Now why this concealing or inhibition of info flow concealed? Due to this happens due to competition given an incentive based system of remuneration. Competition due to an incentive based remuneration. Right, now see here, we have learnt a new point here. This is called silo mentality, right? Focus on the questions, right? Next one, very tough, right? Ethics is synonymous to, now which options? Morality, money, standards, conduct. Ethics is synonymous to morality. This is what we studied, ethics versus morality, right? Although ethics and morality are not same, but you use the terms as synonym, right? And we have dealt the definitions of ethics and morality in detail. So your option is A. Money, standards, conduct doesn't come into ethics. Next one. The general and abstract concepts of right and wrong behavior pulled out from philosophy, theology and professional society is called ethics, morals, etiquette, law, it seems. Now what is that? The general and abstract concepts of right and wrong behavior. Now this is what your general definition of ethics. Next one. The ethical dilemma of choosing between two rights refer to. Right? Now the ethical dilemma of choosing between two rights refer to choosing between the lesser of two evils. Yes, this is perfectly right. This is what I have exactly discussed in the video also. Choosing between the lesser of two evils is nothing but your ethical dilemma. Now see here, there is a difference between moral dilemmas and ethical dilemmas. You have to focus on this. Right? Now see here, when you are faced with ethical dilemmas, choosing between two good choices, we will go for the one which has less evil, am I right, or less harm. This is what, am I right or wrong? Yes. Now for your first one is exactly correct. Deciding which of the two employee rights is most important? No. This was with respect to topic, right? Deciding to offer a bribe or lose out an important opportunity? No. It was vague. Choosing between the two harassment be? No. This comes under sexual harassment, not ethical dilemmas. Right? Now, next one. The cultural organizational, community, interpersonal, or personal dynamics that should be considered when making ethical and professional issues are referred to as. Now see here, these cultural, organizational, community, interpersonal and personal dynamics. Now all these come under, see here, your contextual considerations, right? Depending upon the time, place, your behavior has to be changed. Am I right or wrong? You cannot behave the same manner in an IT industry, IT organization, in the same way in an chemical organization, I mean a cement industry, right? Can you be there? No. So this is what the exact definition. Now your answer is contextual considerations. Now see here, this context of work involves equation of both organizational and environmental considerations. Done. Next one. Which of the following parameters are evaluated in the definition of moral agents, it seems? Now what are the parameters? Whose actions and intentions can be morally evaluated? Yes, this is the parameter that you will choose. Whose personal character can be morally evaluated? Yes, this is chosen. So your option is both of the above. Right? Done. Now, who are moral agents? Now first let us know about this. Who are these moral agents? Now moral agents are those whose actions or character, sometimes you call it as character, can be morally evaluated. Right? This is what the exact definition given there. Right? So your option is C, both of the above. Now, next one. In normative inquiry, norms are to be identified for which of the following reasons? In normative inquiry, norms are to be identified for which of the following reasons, it seems. Right? Now what is for this normative inquiry? Now normative inquiry is nothing but to identify what ought to be, means what is good and what is most desirable norm or standard. Right? Now see, this is the exact definition of normative inquiry. Now you got the point? Yes, to identify what ought to be. Right? I means this what ought to be is nothing but which is good, or sometimes you call it as most desirable. Done. Now which option satisfies this? What is the reason behind work conflict? No. The definition exactly depicts your B option. What is the most desirable stand behavior? Right? Exact definition. This is what I have discussed in the video also. Normative ethics, perceptive ethics, moral ethics. Right? Go through the videos and come here, you can understand this. Next one. Ethics is needed for practicing engineers because why? Now this is a general question. Right? Why it has to be practiced? Every decision an engineer makes are not settled by rules. Yes, the exact meaning given here. Right? Now next one. Organizations function best when the values implicit in the rules are widely known by all. No. For a practicing engineer, it was right as EN, right? Engineer. Because now, engineers who understand the ethical climate of the organization can contribute to the social interest better. Right? Now, these comes after the things, after application, not before application. Now, your first option exactly satisfies your answer. Now, the capacity to recognize situations and circumstances which have implications for the welfare or well-being of another is referred to as. and the capacity to recognize the situations and circumstances which have implications for the welfare or well-being of another is referred to as. Is it relational dimension? No. Now this is the exact definition of ethical sensitivity. Now go through the definition. I have given the exact definition in the video also. The ability to understand the situation and know the consequences of a particular action is called ethical sensitivity. The exact definition, right? Which of the following terms refers to the ideals, beliefs, norms and ethos that arouse an emotional response for or against them in a community, it seems. Now automatically the question itself is enough to give the answer, right? Ideals, beliefs, norms and ethos that arouse as an emotional response for or against them in a given community. Nothing but your community values, right? This is what discussing about this, right? How to behave in a community. Now what are the ideal norms, ideal beliefs, right? Focus on the questions. Now first topic will be a little bit dry. You have to focus on this. Which of the following statements are correct? Right? Legal rights are the entitlements and permissions given by the law. Yes, perfectly right. Now all these questions are based on definitions. Now next one. Moral rights are not a matter of law but of ethics and generally applied to everyone equally. This is what our first question. Definitions of moral. All the moral rights may not be legal. Yes, may not be legal rights. Yes, perfectly correct. So your answer is all the above. Which is true regarding virtue ethics, right? Already I have discussed this in detail regarding virtue ethics. Go through the video, you can answer it easily. Now what virtue ethics says? It tries to promote good ethical habits and qualities in an individual so that they become good persons, so that they will be also ethical. Now it promotes goodness in individuals is the common word that you use. Now which option satisfies this? Your C option. It is ethical if the character of the agent is good, right? Now see here, this is what the exact definition, right? Legal rights are your options. The system of rules established by authority, society or custom. No, it is not established by custom or society. Now see here, the just claims given to all humans within a government jurisdiction. Now see here, this is the exact definition of legal rights. Now your C option exactly satisfies this. A moral theory that seeks to create most good for the most people. Here we have discussed the same concept again and again in the videos, right? Now what is this? Is it whistleblowing? No. Utilitarianism, right? Now see here, yes, utilitarian approach what says? Doing maximum help to the maximum people, creating maximum pleasure to the maximum people. Utilitarian approach, fairness and good approach, common good approach, right? What government tries to seek, right? All we have discussed. Focus on the questions. Next one. The accepted standards of right and wrong that are usually applied to personal behavior are. This is what our first question says, right? Exact definition of what? Morals. Standards of right and wrong. Again and again I am repeating the same question, right? If you believe in making decisions for the good of most people, you can describe as following which school of thought? Again we have discussed this, right? Utilitarian approach. Now teleology, deontology, egoism approach we have discussed in the videos, right? You go through the videos, you can get the points very well. Which statements are true? Right? Now what are the statements true? Ethics is a synonymous to religious morality or moral theology. Already we have seen the same question. So your first one is correct. Now see here, upon moving to the questions you can answer it very perfectly, right? This is what the practice comes there. Ethics is the principle that guide human behavior. Yes, perfectly right. The term ethics and morality are not synonymous terms, it seems. Yes. So your answer is D. All the above. Now see here, if there is a condition to make synonymous term, you have to consider this, but not right. Now see here, already we have discussed about this theological approach. Theological approach to business ethics proposes that the guiding principle should be, right? Now see here, theological approach evaluates the ethics of any action based on its consequences. Therefore, guiding principle is, now see here, theological approach works on the action or consequences. Now consequences, what term comes here, right? Is it people? No. Is it power? No. Is it purpose? Yes, purpose leads to these consequences. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Perfect. The form of ethics which reflects an individual internal sense of how he should live, what he should strive for, and serves as the basis for moral decisions or judgments and guiding behavior is referred to as, right? Now see here, focus on the question. Now see here, I will chart down the striking point, right? I mean the importance of an individual internal sense. Now this is the crux point in the question. Now what ethics does this lead to for an individual person? So your answer must be personal ethics, right? Now check out the striking point, you can get the answer very easily. Done. The ethical theory which considers the intention of the person choosing the means and the nature of act itself is, right? The ethical theory which considers the intention of the person choosing the means and nature of act is nothing but called duty ethics, right? Exact, right? Duty ethics is based on concept of duty, that is something is ethical and normal in itself, right? Focus on the questions. Which of the following term refers to the way a professional puts into practice the choice made about what is available in his or her profession, right? Which of the following terms refers to the way a professional puts into practice the choice made about what is valuable in his or her profession, it seems. What is the thing there? Our concept, right? Ethical theory, right? This is what we are discussing, right? Ethical theory helps in to put in practice before making a choice, before making into a decision, before making into a practice. What comes in? Your ethical theory comes in. Which of the following which of the following ethical theories aims at realizing the best consequences and is future oriented and endeavors to achieve the best possible outcomes, it seems? The term itself says the answer, aims at realizing the best consequences. Means contemporary approach, future oriented and endeavors. Now which ethics says this? Consequentialist ethics. Direct question, right? Based on consequences. Which of the following is a major strength of duty ethics perspective, it seems? Now duty ethics, it stresses the relational and emotional aspect of individual lives. No, individual lives. It comes under personal ethics. It doesn't come under duty ethics. Now your A option is ruled out. Now your B, it respects the values of individual and recognizes the complexity of moral situations, motives, means and need. This is what we have discussed in the previous question, right? Exact definition of this duty ethics. Now why to again choose this? Your B option exactly satisfies this. Which of the following refers to the reasoning process by which human behaviors, institutions or policies are judged to be in accordance or not with moral standards, it seems. Now see, refers to the reasoning process by which human behaviors or policies are judged, it seems. Not with moral standards. So automatically your answer is nothing but moral reasoning. Exact picking of the question. Next question. If you believe in making decisions for good of the most people, you can be described as following which school of thought, it seems. Now which school of thought this is? Already I have discussed this. Making decisions for good of most people. Right? Consequentialism ethics. Right? Defined on the purposes, consequences, best decisions making good for most of the people. In making moral decisions, one should be more concerned with arriving at good consequences than worrying about having good motives. Now what approach says this? Right? Now your utilitarianism says that one should be more concerned with arriving at good consequences than having good motives. Now see here, your utilitarian approach says this. Am I right or wrong? But in making moral decisions, one person has to be more concerned, it seems. In order to have good consequences, you have to create good pleasures. Right? It doesn't depend upon your motives. In making a moral decision, one should be more concerned with having good motives and arriving at good consequences. Now see here, the same question that was repeated again here. In making a moral decision, one should be more concerned with arriving with having good motives than arriving good consequences. Now in the previous question it is good consequences than good motives. Now what is this answer, right? Deontology. Now see here, this is what I have discussed in the video. Teleology approach, deontology approach, right? Go through the videos well, you can answer it very easily. Now you must have good motives than having good consequences. Now see here, in the previous question, you must have good consequences than having good motives. Observe the difference between the questions, right? These type of questions will be there in the examination. You have to focus on this. Now one should be more concerned with what one does than with what kind of person one becomes, it seems. Now this is an now here, one should be more concerned with what one does than what kind of one person becomes, it seems. Now this is what we have discussed, right? Now virtue ethics will be focusing on good qualities, right, of a person. Now what one does, now it focus on this. So this is your answer there, virtue ethics. Done. Thank you.